Ron here with a perfectly imperfect marriage. And today I want to talk to you a little bit about different words and phrases that we often use when speaking with our spouse that we need to stop using, stop saying, stop it, just stop it. The sooner you eliminate some of these things from the conversations that you're having with your spouse, the smoother and more productive your conversations are going to be. Samantha and I have been coaching couples for some time now. And one of the number one complaints that we hear from a new client is he doesn't understand me. She doesn't listen to anything I say. There's something broken in this whole communication dynamic. Why? Often it's because we dismiss what our spouse is saying because of the words they choose to use. So let's unpack that a little bit. Let's take a look at some of these things and see if we can't eliminate some of those patterns right now, start taking action and improving your communication with your spouse. Now, if this information strikes a chord, if this resonates with you at all, like the video and subscribe to the channel. Each week, Samantha and I break down some different communication or marriage topics, really, that are near and dear to our heart, as well as topics that are suggested to us by friends, family, um, coaching clients, as well as subscribers to the channel. So subscribe to the channel, come along for the ride, and join the fun. So, like I said, we're going to unpack some different words and phrases that we need to eliminate. Stop doing this. You're only going to make your communication with your spouse better. So stop saying these things. We're going to start with you statements. The heck is a you statement, Ron? I don't know what you're talking about. So I'm sure you've said this before. You never. You always. Don't do that. You never listen to me. You always blame me for everything. You never pay attention to what I've got to say. You always dismiss everything I offer, everything I suggest. You're always dismissing it. Why? Yeah, stop saying those things. You're putting blame for your feelings on your spouse. Knock it off. So try transitioning some of those things into I feel statements. I feel dismissed when you're looking at your phone while we're trying to have a conversation. I feel like you never take any of my suggestions seriously. Now you're opening the door for a conversation and you're taking ownership over how you feel versus blaming your spouse for that. And you've been on the other side of the you always, you never statement. Immediately your defenses go up. There's nothing positive that's going to come from that conversation. So stop doing it. Another one, calm down. Just calm down. Calm down. It's not a big deal. Just calm down. Yeah, don't say either of those. The it's not a big deal or calm down. I'm sure you've done this in the past. Does it ever work? Has your spouse ever calmed down when you said calm down? It doesn't happen. Don't say it. You know, if it's in the middle of a heated conversation, try something like, let's table this for 5 or 10 minutes and come back to it. If it's not a heated conversation, try some reflective statements like, if I understand what you're saying correctly, I think what you're saying is, or I hear this, is that correct? Is that where you're coming from? Is that what you're saying? You know, um, find out what's going on. Don't just dismiss it with a calm down or, you know, that's just not a big deal. And for that's not a big deal, try something more like, I understand that this makes sense to you. Could you explain to me how you came to that conclusion or what's going on here? Tell me more so I can understand. The goal in communication is certainly not to be right. It's to understand where your spouse is coming from so that you can come to an agreement, a resolution together that will foster trust, foster unity and strength within your marital team. You know, you guys are a team and you're attacking the world together. And it often feels like you're just getting attacked. But, you know, the sooner you guys realize you're a team and you're on the same page, it really does make walking through this way easier. You know, you've got somebody that you can rely on. You've got somebody who's got your back. And having an open and honest, authentic communication with each other where you're not insulting is a huge step in that. Another one that you need to retire, and I've done it, I'm sure we've all done it, is the I'm sorry, but. Yeah, there is no but after I'm sorry. You know, you can't change the dynamic. Um, an apology has to be authentic, it has to be real, it's got to be followed up by some behavior changes, and you can't blame your spouse for your actions. Really, you know, this you when you gotta your apology has to be genuine and from the heart. And then another one that you absolutely need to make go away is the fine, whatever. It, don't say it. Don't do it. It's not an apology. It's not a conversation continuer. You know, like there's no attempt to find out what's going on when you say something like that. You know, um, try something like, you know, I'm frustrated right now. And I want to keep this conversation going. I want to understand where you're coming from, but I'm frustrated right now. So, you know, maybe table it for a minute and come back to it. Again, the goal is resolution. You guys got to be on the same page. We need to walk this out together. So don't dismiss at all. You know, find whatever is not okay. So take one of these and kind of try to incorporate it into your communication with your spouse, you know, over the next couple of days. Um, each one is going to feel a little weird when you first start trying to use it, but the more you do it, the more comfortable it becomes and the less tension you're going to have when you guys are talking to each other. You know, the goal here is the long-term, happy, healthy marriage that you absolutely deserve. It's absolutely attainable. Your communication doesn't need to be strained. It doesn't need to be a hard part of whatever's going on in your day to day. So um, try incorporating a few of these things. And again, if this information struck a chord, make sure you like the video. And I look forward to talking with you soon.